Hey everybody, as promised, I'm just doing a quick video for you on DIY face masks. I think a lot of people assume that face masks are really complicated, but they are so simple to do, and they can be done with things that you have in your house already. There's a reason why a lot of old wives' tales originate from a much simpler time where people didn't have access to synthetic products or a million different options. They had to use what was available, and most of the time they worked. So in terms of why we do a face mask, they are a great way of getting in some self-care. As you'll have seen from my post this week, daylight savings is just about to end. We get an extra hour this weekend, theoretically, unless you have kids. So what better way to utilise your time than to instill a bit of self-care? But it's also a good way of preparing the skin surface so that your skincare routine, whatever you do, is more effective. I tend to do face masks in the evening. I don't have time during the day or at the start of my day. I want to do it at the end of the day when I can relax and unwind. I tend to also leave it for a day where my hair is probably going to need a wash, so that if I get it in my hair, it's not really a big deal. And also, I don't want to do a nice face treatment and then put makeup on top. I don't wear a lot of makeup in the first place, but I still don't want to put makeup on top of my newly prepared skin. The mask that I've chosen today, I chose for two reasons. One, it's really simple. It has ingredients that you have more than likely at home already, so you don't need to go and buy a whole load of extra stuff. I will suggest some alternatives and other ones maybe for you to try. And the other reason is that at this time of year, with the changing seasons, I notice that my skin starts to feel quite dry. And this mask is a really good way of just introducing a bit of moisture and helping to lock it in. And what that does is it makes your skin feel more moisturized because you're literally introducing moisture into it. There's a bit of a barrier that forms as well that helps to lock the moisture in, and it makes your skin look better. And it's just so simple. It's so simple. The ingredients that we're going to use for this one, I've got some colloidal oats, but if you don't have colloidal oats, you can just get normal porridge oats and blend it down to make a powder like this. I always have this around the house, mostly because oats are known for helping dry and itchy skin. So in the winter months, sometimes I'll just put some colloidal oats in a little zip bag and chuck it in the bath, and you can feel sort of the sort of silky, waxy feel that's coming out of the oats, and that sort of forms a barrier on your skin. It's also full of anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, which just help to gently remove and exfoliate dead skin cells. And then, as I said, it creates that barrier that helps to lock moisture in, and it just suits dry and itchy skin. The next one is just Greek yogurt, full of calcium, zinc, probiotics, and lactic acid. The creamy texture serves two purposes in face masks. One, it helps to hydrate your skin, but it also creates a thicker mask. And I find if you make it with water or milk, or even floral waters, it can just still feel a bit runny, and you just need a lot more of your other ingredients to keep it on your face. So I always find that yogurt is a great base for any face mask that you're doing at home. Lactic acid in yogurt is an alpha hydroxy acid, which gently exfoliates your skin. It's like a chemical peel, I guess, but a much gentler version of it, which helps to remove those dead skin cells. And the final ingredient is honey. I'm using Manuka. You can just use plain old honey, whatever you've got in the cupboard. Honey is often used for colds and coughs and sore throats because of its healing properties. It's got anti-inflammatory properties, it's antioxidant, it's antimicrobial. Isn't nature amazing? But in terms of skincare, that also has benefits for your skin. So it can help clear out your pores and help heal and repair your skin barrier. But it also is a natural humectant, so it attracts and retains moisture, which we want at this time of year. So all you're going to do is you're going to blend these three things together. I'm going to add the honey first to my yogurt, because in my way that's just going to make this process a little bit easier. You can just see here, just mixing it in. Okay. And then once that's mixed, we're going to add it to our oats. You want it to be quite a thick mix. If you feel like it's too thick, by all means you can add a little bit of water. I've used about 2 teaspoons of oats to 1 teaspoon of honey and 1 teaspoon of yogurt, which is making quite a nice thick texture, as you can see here. So that's all you need for the mask. Before you do anything else now, your next step is you need to clean your skin. So I always just wash my skin before we get started. So I've got just a foaming face wash over here. I've already run my water, so I'm going to wash my face just to get all the makeup off that I've been wearing today. Don't need a lot, just a little bit of soap. Here we go. And then I've got my towel here. You can see, so I've taken all the makeup off now. Sorry for you if I look terrifying. Right. And then really it's just a case of grab it and put it on. Looks a bit funny and it's a bit cold. Not ideal on it this time of year, but it's always a bit cold. And you just want to make sure you get a good covering all over your skin. the amount that I've made is actually almost a little bit too much. So you could probably, if you wanted to, also do your neck area and your chest décolletage area. It's gentle enough for all of that. The other thing I like about using yogurt is it doesn't dry out as quickly. Sometimes I find if you make a mask with water or milk or something more liquid, and you, particularly if you're adding clays in, it dries really quickly, and it just feels really uncomfortable on your skin after a little while. I'm not a big fan of the sensation. Right, here we go, rinse that off. Now they're truly terrifying. And now you're going to leave that for 10, 15, 20 minutes, probably no more than 20. Depends how much time you have. You could combine it with lying in a bath, having a bubble bath, or a bath bomb, or a salt bath, so that you're doing all of your self-care in one go. So I'll check back in a minute when my 20 minutes is up. Right, so here we are, 20 minutes has gone past. You can see that the mask has started to dry out in places now. So we're just going to wash this off. Be patient, it takes a bit of effort. You don't need to use soap to get it off, but I find little scrubby pads sometimes help, especially around the hairline. You can also see now why having a shower after is probably quite beneficial. All right, almost there now. As predicted, there is bits of oats in my hair, so you'll probably end up having a shower anyway, but there we go. That is the most of it. Right, just quickly dab your skin dry. Okay, and then my normal skin routine at this point is I would use a toner. This is one I've made. You can just use something as simple as rose water or rose hydrosol, sore, and all you're doing is gently putting that onto your face. Okay, and then at this time of year, because my skin tends to get dry, I'll use a skin oil more regularly than I would do in the summer, and I'll change the skin oil to be one that has slightly heavier oils. This one has got jojoba, tamanu oil and sea buckthorn, as well as a bit of vitamin C, and you don't need a lot, just a pea-sized amount. Rub it in, don't forget your neck area, it will thank you. And then as a final little bit, I use my normal moisturiser that I make. One day I will make this to sell, just not at the moment. And that's it, I'm done. Maybe 25 minutes tops. My skin feels better. You can see it's a little bit red from the exfoliation as you wash it all off, but in a couple of minutes that will settle, and your skin will just feel really lovely and moisturised. If you're looking for alternatives to this, you can still use yogurt as your base. If you want something that's going to pull, if you've got blocked pores and you want to pull all the impurities and gunk out of your pores, charcoal's a great alternative. If you've got more sensitive skin and you just want something that is got a bit more regenerative properties, try kaolin. And Rosule or Moroccan lava clay is also great to reduce dryness and help if you've got uneven skin tone. I've got a little bit here and here and here, just uneven sort of pigmentation from being out in the sun. Lots and lots of options to try. There are ready-made masks on my website. There are just single clays if you're looking for smaller quantities, or there are blends that you can also mix with floral waters, plain old water, plant milk, normal milk, yogurt. Only thing you can't mix it with is citrus. So have an experiment at home, see what you've got in your cupboards, in your fridge, and let me know if you tried a face mask and how it worked out for you. Hope this is helpful. See you soon.